Hey you guys, there's something that is on my mind I just want to share while I'm driving, hands-free, safe. You know, I'm not much of a book reader, and I know I'm an entrepreneur, I'm building my businesses, I am doing all the things, quit my 9-to-5, but I'm not much of a book reader. I've read some good books, and I see all the time so many people who are successful are like, you gotta read. You have got to read. Now, I can read an article, a blog post. Love reading blog posts. It's short form, but sitting down with a book in my hand, I fall asleep immediately. Maybe it's because I'm, hooked on technology, or this is just how, I don't know why. However, what I want to share is not just like, I don't read, oh well, I am a lifelong learner. I need to be constantly consuming new information, because that's how you grow and evolve. And what I just discovered, don't judge your girl that I just discovered this, but and everybody talks about it. Podcasts. Oh, I listen to such and such podcast, this podcast, that podcast. First of all, again, no judgment. I don't really know where you go to listen to podcasts. Where do you find these? And then here's the other thing. Everybody's always talking about Apple Music or Apple Play or iTunes. I don't know anything about Apple. I don't know. I've never owned an Apple product. I've never had iTunes. I never had an iPod or an iPad. Nothing So I don't know how people are always like us or rate us on iTunes. I don't have that. So I never knew. And I used to be a Pandora girl. I used to listen to my music on Pandora and something called Groove Shark. Comment below if you remember or still use Groove Shark. I legit still have playlists on Groove Shark, okay? When it was Pandora started getting really full of ads and there was no way I was paying. So I transitioned to Amazon Music. And I love Amazon Music because I can say, Alexa, play such and such playlist. And she knows. She's got my playlist on deck because it's connected because it's through Amazon. But that's what I use. And they have a tab called Podcasts. Now, you know how the running joke is oh, you have to watch such and such movie. And you're like, oh, let me add that to my list of movies that I need to watch that actually doesn't exist, but this is just what I say to people when they tell me that I have to watch this movie. I know you can relate. Anyway, so the same thing with podcasts. If you love this topic, this podcast is perfect for that. And I'll be like, oh, I honestly should Google what the word podcast even means. I know it's people talking, whatever. Put that on the to-do list. Anyway, finally, so I started following Janice from Yo Quiero Dinero podcast. And, just following her. Never really was I'm going to go listen to her podcast. I didn't even know how to access it. So finally, out of curiosity, I love her posts, love what she talks about in her stories. I go click on her link, and she has a website where all her podcasts are, they're listed. And to listen to them on my phone, I'd have to have my web browser open, and I'd have to keep, touching the screen so that it knew I was active, so it wouldn't, stop. And, not the best setup. Probably would work better, on a desktop, while I'm working or something. When I discovered on the Amazon Music that they have that tab called Podcasts, I looked her up, and she's on there. And it has all of them. So, and if you're wondering, yes, I do pay a monthly subscription to have access to Amazon Music. It's less than $9, $8 something. I have been listening to her podcast. I listened to the most recent one at the time that I first started, and then I'm no, this is too good. I gotta go back and start from the beginning. I have been listening to her starting from episode 1. It's so good. So good. Here's the thing. I said this to my best friend a couple of weeks ago. I have been craving like community. And I think that a lot of places call their Instagram followers their community, and it's not an automatic community, so stop doing that if you don't know what you're talking about. But just like-minded individuals who are on similar paths as you, or who have been where you are, who are going where you're going. Like, I've just been craving that. And listening to these podcasts, first of all, she just sounds like we're related. That's how relatable it is. She's Puerto Rican. I just can feel that connection because we're similar. Like, we have similar backgrounds. We're from the same place. And then all of the guests that she has on the I have to take a ticket. Then all of the guests that she has on the show are Latina women that are about something, that are doing things. Now, her focus is personal finance, but she branches off into like mindset and, just developing yourself, career moves. And these women who she has on there, I swear, like, they'll describe their upbringing or their relationship with money, or their lessons or how their parents were with that. And it's like, oh my God, we're all family. It feels like family listening to these podcasts. You're going to notice that I'm going to be tagging her page on some of my future posts, including this one. And it just, because there's so many quotables in the podcast where it's like, oh my God, that's a quote. Like, I need to share that. I need to tweet this. I've literally, like, every time she has a new guest, I'm like, oh my God, I love them. I feel like we could be friends. I'm going to go find them, and I go Instagram, follow them, send them a message, and start a conversation. And I'm going to keep doing that because I think it's so important for you to be surrounded by people who are like you, who get you, who relate to you, who are similar in some way. Feeling lonely or alone in this world is a terrible feeling. But the good thing is that there's so many people who have shared life experiences that you don't even know. You don't even know. And so I'm going to end this because I've been rambling for 10 minutes. But I want to just leave you with one nugget of wisdom or one tip, and that is that your Instagram or social media content that you consume, curate a feed for yourself of people who are talking about the things that you want to have, the places you want to go, the person you want to become. Unfollow the Kardashians, unfollow the gossip pages, and fill your Instagram following with people who are talking about things that are about something of substance, something that can uplift you, motivate you, inspire you, teach you something, educate you. Valuable things. There are people who are out here on Instagram sharing free information every single day that's valuable. And, all the celebrity pages, I unfollowed so many of them. Most of them. And I only want to see content that's going to help me level up. Like, all these celebrities are already there. I don't need to see the new fancy purse that you bought. I don't need to see the yacht that you're laying on that I can't afford to be on because I'm not there yet. I want to see things that are going to help me bridge the gap between where I currently am and where I want to go. And so I just want to encourage you to do the same. If you are on a journey to become better, to be better, to do better, and you're someone like me who's on Instagram every single day, the feed and the posts that you see, change it. Make it worth looking at so that your Instagram scrolling time is actually self-education time, and you're actually being inspired, learning something, gaining knowledge, versus just seeing a bunch of people flaunt and floss the stuff that they have. So that's my nugget that I'm leaving with you. If you've listened this far, thank you so much for listening and hanging in with me. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Both are at Her Clear Path. And feel free to DM me and message me. Let's talk. Let's be friends. And thank you for watching.